Here is what people misunderstand about debt. The problem isn't borrowing. The problem is what the borrowing is connected to. And so the same £15,000 from the same lender on the same terms and conditions can quietly trap one person for years and improve another person's position month after month. Now, the problem isn't because the person is intelligent or has luck. The problem is what the debt was structured and deposited in. And hey, at the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this happens. I can't wait to dive deeply. Let's jump in. Debt doesn't create wealth. It actually amplifies what is already there. So if income, timing, and control exist underneath, debt can stretch outcomes. If even one of those is missing, debt doesn't fail slowly. It tightens and then it breaks. Everything you are about to see in this video follows that rule. All right, let's start with property. I believe property makes this visible. And so let's use clean numbers. And for the purpose of illustration, say the purchase price is £210,000 and your deposit is £21,000. And the loan, I'm talking about the mortgage itself, is £189,000. Now, roughly each month, the cost of the property will be £950. Now, the same property, let's put it in the property market yielding £1,500. Same property we're talking about. Now, what you have done is a stable income. The tenant service the debt. And you know that you are building equity in the property. Now, let's change the structure a little bit. Now, instead of renting it single-handed, the entire property, now let's put it into portions, in rooms. So let's say 4 bedrooms in one property. Each bedroom is going for £425. Do you know what we are doing here? Same property, we've changed the structure. Now, the monthly yield on that same property is £1,700. That is what I am talking about. So same procedure, different structure, same debt. That is what I'm talking about. And so you see, it is what you do with debt, what you connect the debt to. Let's step away from property and move into service businesses, which shows debt in its practical form. Once again, for the purpose of illustration, let's take exterior cleaning. You know what I'm talking about. Those who go around cleaning your houses, your windows, the exterior side here and there. Now, the equipment we need, basic stuff, minimal branding, hoses, tank here and there. Say the entire cost is $2,800, and that is a debt we acquire. Now, this debt is serviced immediately. 3 jobs per week costing £140. In the entire week, we're talking about £420. And for a month, about £1,650. Once again, this debt is serviced immediately. The debt gets cleared, the equipment remains, and income continues. Here, the borrowing wasn't risk, but the absence of the job would have been. And so you see, same debt, different structure, different delivery. And so the debt becomes a healthy debt. Let's talk about inventory. This is different. Why? This is not holding. This is movement. And so once again, for the purpose of illustration, say £3,500 used to buy resale stock. Now, the average margin per unit is £25. Over 4 to 6 weeks, the revenue reaches roughly £6,000. And $3,500 exists to naturalize the debt. The rest exists because capital briefly worked. This only functions when demand already exists. And once again, we are disciplined with pricing and respect our exit time. Debt here is not ownership, but then it's a temporary skill. You need to understand the structure you are picking. Then debt will begin to make sense to you. Let's talk about working assets. Some debt is tied directly to output. An example is a van, a trade tool, production equipment. But let's put some maths together and let's see how this actually looks visibly. And so for the purpose of illustration, let's say the van finance is £410 per month. This van is used for contracted delivery, working earning about £80 per day. That is a net. And then that's around £1,600 per month. You realize the asset covers itself. The debt doesn't linger. The debt is actually in control. The reason is because we know what the output is. And the output can be managed and preempted. So it's like you knowing that you'll be paid at this amount of money at this specific time. That is what I'm talking about, because you can preempt the output. So you realize that debt, once again, is a healthy debt. So it's dependent on the structure you put the debt in. Now, this is the part I may be a little bit emotional. Let's talk about why this fails. So with everything I have illustrated, you realize that debt is not actually bad. Debt can move you from one point to the other if you know how to structure and leverage with it. But unfortunately, that is not a story for a lot of people. What I have seen is that reality interferes. And sometimes when reality interferes, income is overestimated. We try to assume, oh, I can do this. But you see, the reality one is your health. Reality is your time. Reality is your commitment. Reality is the many other things that is connected to you that may be pulling you here and there. And so we must manage risk and have a proper structured business mindset. So it is not just because I've gone for debt, I should be able to make this at the end of the month. No. The moment you think business and you think debt, you need to function and structure as a business entity. You need to operate as a proper entity. An entity observes its risk, factors its risk in its operations. And so out of its outputs, we consider the risk in its output. So we do not overestimate. Debt does not pause for vacancies, slow weeks, or mistakes. The biggest failure is the timing. So what you realize is debt does not forgive weak planning. It actually exposes it. And so please do not take the little things for granted. The moment you think debt and you think business or you think investment, start aligning and structuring like a business entity separated from you. Because when it is separated from you, it can be managed and run as it's meant to. But when it is attached to you and it is all mine, there's no structure, there's no governance surrounding the business, then I can preempt a failure. If there's nothing you take from this video, please remember, borrowing doesn't create advantage. Placement creates advantage. Planning creates advantage. Timing creates advantage. This is what I need you to remember. Debt on its own is neutral. It is there. It's floating like that. But what you attach it with is everything. Take that wise decision. And please, do not be scared of borrowing. It's one of the well-building tools that can be marginalized. It's what you do with it. Send that email to yatfinance25@gmail.com and take that wise decision. I can't wait to see you at the top. God bless you. This is YAT Finance. I'll see you in the next.